when a Missouri factory worker set out to make a time machine on his back porch. The contraption he came up with was not completely off the mark. With a high voltage electrical transformer that Michael Markham had hooked up to two vertical metal rods, it would have been more likely to have killed him or blown up his house than to have carried him into the past or future. If you're going to do this, it's going to require an enormous amount of energy. And I actually have Michael Markham here with us now, and I thought I would ask him. Mike, can you hear us?
Yeah.
So how did this all start, Michael?
It started, I just wanted to make like a fancy Jacob's ladder.
A Jacob's ladder. Now, could you explain to the audience what a Jacob's ladder is?
It's like two metal rods with a spark going in between them.
So you build this ladder. What happens next?
Well, after starting it up, there was like a wavy halo that formed over the ladder.
Wavy.
Yeah, like heat waves over hot pavement.
So you got this wavy halo above your ladder. What did you do next?
Well, I took like a sheet metal screw and I decided to throw it through the halo.
Right, and what happened then?
It disappeared.
It disappeared. How exactly?
I threw it in there and I waited a second or two, and then it just appeared on the table. It just kind of appeared, just sitting there.
I'm curious. What do you think happened to the screw once it entered the halo and disappeared?
I thought that maybe there was like a strong magnetic force that was pulling the screw, or that it had just pushed it forward in time a few seconds. But I tried it like 3 times.
Did you try capturing this on film at all?
That's the thing. I wanted to, but right after I left to go get my camcorder, I came back and the laser was burning up. It was too hot.
Wow, so your invention's up in flames. What's your thought process once the smoke clears?
Well, I thought that to really see what was going on, I needed to make the vortex bigger.
Right, so
I needed more power.
And that's really what led to your current predicament, isn't it?
Yeah, well, transformers are kind of pricey, and I tried to go through a supplier, but
you decided to procure some another way.
I mean, they were just sitting outside the gate.
Okay, so when did the police come and pick you up?
That was right after I caused the blackout.
Ah.
Yeah, I heard I also fried some of the neighbors' refrigerators and stuff.
Well, I'm sure they were probably more than happy to see you get picked up then by the police.
Yeah, I'm sure they were, I guess.
Now, Michael, we're going to take some calls. Caller number 1, you're on the line with Michael Markham.
Hi, Art. I just wanted to say I am a huge fan of what you do, and I have a huge amount of respect for you and for this show, but I have to say that what you and Mitch here are talking about is just absurd.
Now, just hold on a moment. My friend's name here is Michael, and as to your accusation of absurdity, I'm curious as to why you feel that way.
It's just absurd, Art.
You've already said that. I'm curious as to why you feel the need to tell both me and Michael this.
That man is going to either hurt himself, or more importantly, someone else. This is just the lamest thing I have ever heard in my life.
Well, me and Michael are very appreciative of your concern. Michael, do me a favor. Could you please tell the audience not to do this at home?
Don't try this at home.
There you go. All right. Caller number 2, you're on the air with Michael Markham.
This guy's crazy, Art.
I'm from Mike's town, and let me tell you, he is the local loon. Nobody wants him here anymore.
This guy slow or something? You can't make a time machine out of spare parts you find in your garage.
This guy is either gonna fry himself or burn down the town. Either way, it's clear that this guy's already fried in the head.
Michael, please feel free to take a moment to grab a drink. We're gonna be back. Mike, are you still there?
Listen,
It's
Art.
nice to have you back, Michael. Listen, during the break, we received...
Art,
Now, Mike, please let me finish. During the break, we received a lot of faxes from listeners, and I think you might want to hear this one because it might come as a bit of a surprise. Art, well done. What a scoop. What a tremendous bloodhound. Intuitive tenacity, you're one in a million. As is young Michael. If he needs transformers, we've got them as leftovers from our electrical business. Free, if he wants them. Provided he pays shipping. I'm sure, like us, there are many people that have more than what he needs for experimenting. So, Michael, there you have it. It is a free offer of that of which you were put behind bars for. This guy is willing to give you free Transformers. Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, that's very cool.
Alright, well, I can put you two together. I've got Randy's number here in San Diego, and I'll give it to you tomorrow privately. How's that sound?
Sure, yeah, that sounds great.
He's too young to call him Father Time, so we're calling him Madman Markham. Thank you so much for coming on the show, Michael, and you know I only mean that affectionately.
Of course, Art. Thank you for having me.
Next up on our show, we have some rather strange finds in the New Mexico desert that might point to life on another planet. Michael, it's been over a year since we last talked, and we were getting a little worried about you for a while. We couldn't get a hold of you.
Yeah, well, my phone got disconnected. But, Art, I need to thank you for getting me in touch with all those people.
I take it they were able to help you out?
They were.
You know, that's great. So how far along are we now, Michael? How close are we?
I've made some improvements with the machine. I really think I'm getting close to finishing this thing.
Michael, as you draw closer and closer to your goal and the completion of this machine, have you thought to the extent of which you're going to test it?
The extent?
Yes, Michael, I feel it's a question that if I ask, I'll be asking for the majority of our listeners. Just judging based off of the amount of calls that we're getting. But have you considered potentially testing this machine on yourself?
I've thought about it.
What would you take with you?
I think I'd take my cell phone.
Your cell phone? Why's that?
I'd like to see what sort of effects the vortex has on a cellular device or on electronics. I'd like to see what having a cell phone in whatever time period I enter, what effect that would have on the surroundings.
But have you given much thought to how you would execute a trial like this?
I have a little. I'd have to figure out a way to make some sort of soup to insulate myself from the 3 million volts.
3 million volts?
Yeah.
Oh, goodness, Michael, that certainly is a lot.
It is.
And clearly you've given this a lot of thought, Michael, and so I find it necessary to ask you, on behalf of our listeners and myself, your friend, that you please test this machine extensively before you test it on yourself. Can you do that for me, Mike?
Sure, I'll do that.
Well, Michael, as always, it was a pleasure having you on the show. And as we wrap up today, I just want to tell you that there have been endless faxes and endless calls expressing their admiration of you and of your work. You truly are an inspiration to so many, safe to say, to thousands. From now on, I bet anybody in the Kansas City area, when their lights dim, they're going to wonder if you just jumped across. We're going to take one more caller for this evening. Caller number 4, you're on the air.
Hi, Art. I'm calling to see if you remember that kid you had on the show making the time machine.
Yes, Michael Markham. I've been trying to get a hold of him for the last few months now.
Well, Art, I have something I'm sending to you right now. Let me know when you get it.
Yes, I have it here.
Art, I think we're looking at Michael here.
You really think they found Markham's body on a beach in 1930?
Look at the picture.
Well, all I see here is an unidentified man crushed in a metal tube.
No, Art, look closer. Look at the sand in front of the body. Art, that looks like a cell phone. The article says the police found a strange electronic device near the body. They have no idea what it is. The man was dressed in strange clothes and appeared to be in his early 20s. Art, I really think that
I appreciate you sharing this with me. I'll continue to look into the matter, and I'll also continue to try to contact Michael, maybe to clear some things up.
Art, night. Thanks for letting me call in.
That'll bring an end to our show this evening. A very interesting end. I appreciate you all sticking with me. And as always, this has been Art Bell.